What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dame D, and I am back with another one. Let me check my audio and my video before I start up to make sure you guys can hear me. Because I was talking the other day for a whole 15, 20 minutes and I could not be heard, but getting ready to check that now. So testing, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? What up, though, to everybody on Facebook? What's up to everybody out there on YouTube? So hold on, let me make sure that I don't hear anything coming through here yet. Boy, it's always something. Make sure that. Okay, so we good. Ain't coming through here yet. All right, so I can be heard. There we go. There we go. Boy, it's always something. Okay, so we can be heard. We can be heard. So what's good? What up? What up, though? Everybody out there on Facebook. What up, though, to everybody out there on YouTube and Instagram? You know, it's just Sunday night conversation with your boy Dame D. We're just chopping it up with my homeboy Real Talk with Big Dave. You know, just talking about it's my birthday weekend, so just been relaxing, and I absolutely have been doing anything today, but just this whole weekend I relaxed. I didn't do anything. I had a long week, work week this past week, and just recuperating from that. And just really relaxing, man, and getting ready to have another birthday tomorrow, another, a milestone in my life. So what's good out to everybody out there, man? Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Getting ready to return back to making this money tomorrow. Getting back to the work week, I should say. So I just want to come on for a hot second and just have a good Sunday night conversation. We tried to come in Friday. We were having a lot of technical issues. Couldn't really have a good conversation. We came back later on. I thought that we had fixed the issues, but we're not able to fix the issues. But I'm here now. We're just having a conversation with you guys. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I don't know if a lot of people heard about the Jeep Fest that went on in Toledo. I heard that was an awesome event that went on this weekend. It was a lot of awesome events that went on. We had the Spar Wars that went on down there in Detroit over the weekend. I heard it was a great event. I was not able to attend. I had a few things that I had to attend with the wife, so I could not attend. But I heard it was a great turnout and a great event. What up, though, cuz? How you doing? Thanks, man. Yep. Appreciate it. Your boy be 51 tomorrow, man. Another milestone, another year. If the Lord wake me up tomorrow, man, Lord willing, I'll be able to see 51. So I just want to come in for a hot second and chop it up. Mitch, let me know if you can hear me clear, man, and if you can see me clear. I've been having a few technical difficulties with my audio and my video I had going on Friday. But how you been doing, man? How the family been doing? 51 and young. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up, though, Lee, man? Long time, bro. How you been? Yep, like I said, man, Lord willing, if I wake up tomorrow morning, I will be 51 years old. Yep, so that's another milestone, another blessing to see 51. A lot of people at work, a lot of the YNs be teasing me like, oh man, you all be like, look, man, I tell them the same thing the old heads used to tell me when I used to fuck with them about their age. I'm like, you better make it, you better hope you make it to see 51. What up, though, my homeboy Mar? What up, my baby? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sitting up here chopping it up, man. Just talking about another milestone in my life. I'll be 51 tomorrow, Lord willing, if I wake up to see it tomorrow. So that's a blessing. So what's been good, Marv? But like I said, let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. We've been having a few technical difficulties. I just wanted to come on for a hot second and just have a good conversation, just chop it up for a hot second. Look, and I need for those who have not subscribed to the channel that's watching me on Facebook, Mitch, because I don't know if you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, but if you can, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Your boy is less than 15, actually less than 14 subscribers away from hitting that 1K, from hitting that 1K mark. So that's one thing that that I'm excited about. We are closing down on that 1K over there on YouTube. Okay, that's good, man. I'm glad everything great. We got Real Talk with Big Dave getting ready to come on the stage and join us in the conversation. What's good, Big Dave? What's good?
What's going on?
I'm gonna let Dave get his stuff together, but no, man. You said Marv said I can hear you and see you. Okay, good, man. Like I said, we've been and I don't know if it was me, but I noticed a lot of people that was using StreamYards have been having a lot of technical issues with buffering and things like that. So I just want to make sure you guys can hear me and see me good. Real Talk with Big Dave. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can't even hear you. You sound like a robot.
Okay, you know what? I didn't have your mic up, so that's why I could not hear. You said I'm sounding like a robot?
I still can't
Okay,
hear
good
you.
look, Marv. Hop on YouTube, man, and hit that subscribe button. It's gonna help your boy out. I definitely need that subscribe button. We are, like I said, less than 15 subs away from that 1K. Real Talk with Big Dave, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the show. Let everybody know your name and what's going on.
Yeah, it's Real Talk with Big Dave. Y'all can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Real Talk with WIT Big Dave. On Facebook, Big Dave Crawford. Make sure y'all get with me and subscribe. I got a whole lot of content I'm putting out. Real Talk.
Okay. There we go. Well, I appreciate you, Dave. It's always a blessing to have you on the show, conversating, with me. And I was just talking to everybody. I was just telling them I was just actually having a conversation with you. We were just talking about, life, man, and birthdays, and just, just seeing another year. Blessed to see another year. And like
Exactly.
I said, if I wake up tomorrow morning, I will be blessed to see another year, man. And it's a blessing. Sometimes I feel my age, sometimes I don't.
Well, that's how life is. You know what I'm saying? You wake up one day, you feel, okay, and the next day you feel like a burst of energy. That's just what it is. The older you get, your body go through different things, just like a car.
And I tell you what, man, we were off of work for about a month. We were shut down, and then we were laid off, and we went back. I tell you, that Monday, that first day back off of work, off of that, man, I was so motherfucking sore. My back was aching. I felt like I was 50, but it took me some days to get back, in the groove of things. And by the end of the week, I was cool. But yeah, man, I tell you, it was a long week. So this is my birthday weekend. I really didn't do anything, man. I just relaxed. I hung out with the family and just chilled out. That's it. My sister called me. They wanted to throw something, at my sister or my mom's house. But I just said, you know what, man, I'm just gonna relax and chill out. Yep, and that's exactly what I did. I got a little barbecue, and ate good tonight, and that's it. And just chilled out. Yeah.
Well, when you're getting older, you have to start to take care of your body, and it starts with everything: how you eat. You got to stretch a lot more these days. The older you get, you got to start stretching. You got to make sure you add a lot of fruits and vegetables into your diet, and keep moving around, because the minute you don't do something, you lose it. So
that's a fact.
We have to start challenging
Vito.
ourselves.
I appreciate you, man. Make sure if you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit it. Like I said, your boy is less than 15 subs away from 1K. But go ahead, Dave. I didn't mean to cut you off, but no, listen, you're right. If you don't use what you got, you're gonna lose it. Like I said, I was off of work for 30 days, man, and going back that first week, it took a lot out of me. It took me 3 to 4 days to get back adjusted from being sore. But it is what it is, man. Yep. So look, Dave, let's get back to the conversation, man. Look, and Vito, I'm glad you on here, man. We was talking about snitching and what, these YNs, kind of get misconstrued or kind of chopped up over about snitching. What do you guys consider snitching? And Big Dave, give me your example of, like what we were just talking about. Motherfuckers kind of get snitching kind of mixed, confused, and chopped up over, a motherfucker taking a charge for his own. Like, say for instance, like if you in the car, with a motherfucker and they got some dope on them or a gun on them, and they try to hide stuff to shit, and get pulled over, and y'all get pulled over with it, and it's they shit, and it's not yours. What do you do in that situation, Dave? If a motherfucker if you driving and a motherfucker trying to stash some shit in your car, and y'all get pulled over, the motherfucker not trying to talk and trying to clear up, who shit it is. Is that called snitching? Give me your example, give me your thoughts, give me your opinion on that.
Well, bro, I can't hear you. They know, I know they can, but I can't hear nothing you saying. But
oh wow,
yeah, you sound like a robot.
Oh, you know what, Dave? Hang up and call me. I'm gonna bring you in through the phone line because it seems like every time you there where you at, we have a bad connection. So I'm gonna bring you in through the phone line and we'll be able to talk a little bit more.
That'd be better. Because that way I need to hear what you asked of me because I can't hear a damn thing you're saying.
Okay, perfect. So go on ahead and hang up, man, and call on in. But yeah, man, I'll do that and we'll wait for you to come on in, Dave. But yeah, Vito, if you want to come up on the stage, man, we about to have a nice little conversation, man. We were real talk with Big Dave. We were just talking about, snitching and with this whole Gucci Man situation and just in general how, we as blacks, we talk about. Hold on, let me go back to some of the comments. How we I think we overplay or overtalk, or the snitching, rule is kind of fucked up in in my opinion, when it comes to to blacks. And I'm gonna put this comment up from my homeboy Lee for Hacker. He said street dudes always enlist people to rule that word. I agreed on. If I'm not aware and you didn't bring me up to speed, you better take the rap because I'm not going to jail for some sucker shit. Hold on, let me read it down, Rhoda. I don't have my glasses on either, y'all. You better take the rap because I'm not going to jail for some sucker shit. Street rules are the most backward rules ever. And I agree, man. I agree 100%. And we were just talking about that before we started this show up. If a motherfucker jump in your shit and they don't tell you what they got on you and the police pull you over, and you try to either like hide some shit in my car, and you don't speak up on it, and I speak up on it, and I tell the police this not my shit, it's either you or your man in the car, and it's not my shit. So who else shit is it? Is that snitching? And that's my question. You guys got to excuse me. I've been having a few technical difficulties with my headphone too, so I had to switch over. So you may hear a little bit of distortion coming from this microphone that I'm using now. But to me, in my opinion, that's not snitching. And we were talking about this whole Gucci Man case, and just really, it wasn't even a Gucci Man case. We were just talking about in general how, our people play too much into this snitching shit. We get caught up, in situations with catching cases for shit that's, that has nothing to do with us. Okay, for sure. You can interact on the chat with us, my guy. So give me your thoughts, give me your opinion on that, man. Like if you in a ride, if you in the car with one of your homeboys and the police pull y'all over, he got dope on him or he got a gun on him that's illegal, and he tucked the gun up under the seat. And when the police pull y'all over, no one's saying nothing. What do you do in a situation like that? And I'm talking to you, Vito. Okay, we got Big Dave about to join us. Real talk. Big Dave?
The phone line.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear.
Okay. So yeah, I just asked that same question to Vito and Aloni. I said, if you was in the car, if you driving and your homeboy got a gun and y'all get pulled over and he stashed the gun up under the car, when y'all get pulled over, they check the car, they find the gun.
They stash, you mean stash it under the seat?
Up under the seat, right. And he not saying nothing. What do you do as the driver of that car? Because you know what the police gonna do. They're gonna try to charge the driver with that gun.
If the person basically what happens is I had a cousin one time was riding with his uncle and some friends, and it was 3 or 4 of them, but this gun was under his seat, not the driver's seat. And they was asking everybody who gun it is, but my little cousin kept getting smart with the authorities. So guess what happened? They put it on him, but
Right.
the gun was up under his seat. This time they didn't put it under the driver because they had a vendetta against him. But usually the driver is held responsible because he's the driver.
Right.
So in a situation like that, what I would do to prevent any problems is people are getting in my car and I'm not letting them know that I have something in the car. I'm not expecting them to take the fall from me. So if we get pulled over, I'm gonna own up to it. I'm gonna say they didn't know it. I didn't tell them nothing. It's mine.
Exactly.
But I would do.
Right. Because I was at the barber shop, and I was talking to, some YNs about, a situation, with the Gucci Man whole situation. I'm like, look, in certain situations, and like the situation we talked about, and I talked about like with the whole Gucci Man situation. I'm like, look, these motherfuckers, came to him, they put a gun up to him, tried to make him change this contract. I'm like, how is that snitching? If these motherfuckers trying to make you do, trying to do a deal that's not that's not under contract, and you're doing this deal under duress, how is that snitching? So in my opinion, man, I think this younger generation has snitching, and just keeping it real fucked up. In my opinion, y'all gotta excuse me, man. Look, I'm about to switch this shit off. Hold on, this shit getting on my nerves. I've been having a issue with my headset, so that's why I'm on these. But Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna unplug these. But yeah, man, in my opinion, I think we need to get away. What's right is what's right. If a motherfucker did some scantless shit to you, because to me, in my opinion, snitching is like you and like me and you, we out doing, what we do, and we doing some dirt together, and we both get, and we get, and I get caught, and you get away. And I snitch on you, and and then the police come get you. That to me, that's snitching. That's what snitching is. In my opinion.
Well, the thing, snitching is very complicated. Period. You know what I'm saying? But what people don't understand, if you don't talk to the authorities at all, you don't have to worry about that. You just say, go to jail. And don't say nothing. You won't have that authority, but it changes. The stimulations changes when I'm in your car, when I'm in your home, or if me and you decide to commit a crime together, and then I got caught and you didn't get caught. You didn't get caught. Then I turn around and tell on you and tell them where to find you. I'm snitching because if I got caught and you didn't, you supposed to still be free.
Right.
We did this crime together. I agreed to this crime. Now you committed a crime and I got in your house. Or I came in your house or got in your car and you didn't let me know what was going on. And the police comes in your house or car looking for you and find something that you used or they had a warrant for you for something and you had something in your car and you didn't tell me, I'm not going to jail for you. I'm not going to jail for you, period. Now, if you tell me what you got in your car or your home that you shouldn't have in there when you know that they're looking for you, then I have a choice to either leave your home or not come in it or get out your car or not get in it. The minute I step foot in your car, knowing what you got in there, now I'm added to the problem. So if the police come, all I can say is I don't know what you're talking about. It ain't mine. It's up to you if you're going to tell them it's yours or not. Because if you say it ain't yours, they're going to take us both to jail, and they're going to decide who they're going to put it on.
Right.
And if I got a record and you got a squeaky clean record, they might not want to put it on you, even though you're the driver. They might say, shit, we can bury this nigga. He got a record.
Right.
So it's really tricky.
And we talked about this once before, man. Look, in my opinion, there's no honor amongst thieves. I think, I'm not going to say everybody, but most people, put in the situation, they're going to talk, to see themselves free, and reason why we talking about this, Dave, this leads us back to this Nolan Wells case. White folks, they stick together. You see what this group of white folks have done. They have band together. They have stuck together. They have not spoke to the police, and that's the difference between us and them, man. At this point, they would have been, interrogated and got something up out of, I'm going to keep it real by a nigga by now. You know what I mean? With this whole Nolan Wells case, and we need to band and stick together, when it comes to situations like that. You see how this whole state, how pretty much has banned up, shut up. They're not speaking to the authorities. We know and we see that these friends, has something to do with this young man's death, and no one's talking. Go ahead, Dave.
Let's not get tricked here with the Nolan Wells case. Let's not get tricked. And what I mean by that is they do talk to the police. They do a lot of telling, but when it comes to them committing murders and crimes that they towards
blacks, they band together and stick together. That's what I mean by that. I'm not saying that they don't talk, because we know that they will snitch on a nigga in a minute, but when it comes to protecting their own, with crimes, they're going to band together and stick together, and that's what we don't do as a group. Go ahead.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, when they are the biggest snitchers. But when it comes to them doing harm or something to a black, they come together, because the police, they're all together. When they when they don't talk to the police and the police ask them one question, they say, I don't know. The police don't interrogate them. They don't ask for more. The difference with us, the police, when we say we don't know, they're going to keep asking us questions, but we still have to understand what our rights are and just say, I don't know. And if they take you to jail, which they don't take them to jail, but if they take you to jail, I'm talking about us, you still have to stick to your gun and say, I don't know. Let them prove that you're the one who did something. Don't just give them the information.
Listen, and I agree, because that's exactly what these group of friends, that's exactly what the parents have done. They have band together. They have not really spoke any words. Like Lee Hackett said, he said they have a code, and they're sticking to their code. They're not speaking about it. They're actually trying to put cases on niggas, and that's what's so crazy. I want to ask you that question, David. It sounds like we're having a little bit of feedback. I'm gonna turn down your mic a little bit, but they actually, starting to put cease and desist on a lot of the podcasters, the black social media people that's talking about this case. Give me your thoughts about that. They're attacking all the blacks that's talking about this Nolan Wells case, but they're not attacking any of the whites, like the Nancy Graces and people like that, who's actually who's talking about it.
You know why they're not attacking her? Because she's for them. She leans like she's on our side a little bit, but mainly she's for them. Because she's responsible for why Carmelo Anthony got locked up, because she tried to make Metcalf look like an angel, but he was a bully and a terror. See, Metcalf thought he could put his hands on somebody and get away with it because he's been getting away with doing that, and he met his match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, he learned his lesson in that situation.
Yeah, you can't tell a person how to react once you put your hands on. Well, he didn't have to stab him. Well, he didn't have to touch him. See, at the end of the day, they're going to attack us because we're putting things out here to the public that the public need to know, and we're not going to let it go, and we're not going to stop talking about it. Yes, allegedly, there's a lot of things that's going on with this case that leads them to a murder, allegedly. We're not completely for sure, but based on the details and the things that is coming out, they are doing too much hiding. They're hiding stuff. They're closing down social media pages. They're doing everything.
What's up, Joe? I'm gonna bring you in. Joseph said he agree. If you disagree, Joe, I'm about to send you a link. You can come on in and speak your piece on that. But go ahead, Big Dave.
Yeah, Dave,
go ahead. I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, they're trying to scare us with lawyer tactics. That don't scare us because at the end of the day, they're doing too many things. Like, why would you call the rescue unit instead of 911? You didn't call 911 because you knew 911 were going to be asking questions.
Yeah, because they asked them that question. They said, "Do you want us to call the?" I believe it was the Navy, and they was like, "No." They hurry up and said no.
No. See, because they knew not to call 911 because 911 was going to ask serious questions.
Okay, well, Joe disagreed with the Carmelo Anthony is the reason why he's in jail and no one else is.
Who? Excuse me?
No, Joe made a comment. He said disagree. He said he disagreed with the come to the Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is the reason why he's in jail. That's what he was talking about. What he disagreed with. I thought he was talking about the.
Anthony is not the reason he's in jail because Carmelo Anthony showed up and went under a tent, and that all could have been diffused if the white boy would have went and got authorities to remove him. Or when it went to a coach to remove him, he thought he could remove him on his own. See, people have to learn to stay in their place. Who was Metcalf? Who told Metcalf to go over there messing with him because he didn't want that black kid under that tent?
Yeah,
what he should have did is went to whoever was in charge, security, his coach, or somebody of authority to have him removed, and none of this would have never happened.
No, I agree. And I'm not saying Carmelo Anthony was wrong for what he did, but in my opinion, this should set a precedent, for the next motherfucker who think they want to put their hands on someone. Sometimes you have to. Carmelo may have been, and I'm not going to say a martyr because he didn't die in this situation, but he probably set a precedent, even though and I think, and we still, and Joe, we're still waiting on them to give this young man another trial, and I still think he's going to get another trial because I still think, in my opinion, he was railroaded. I don't think 35 years would suffice. I think he should have at least, minimum get some type of manslaughter charge, I should say, because if he was white and the same incident happened, we see and we know, most of them would have either walked away free or would have gotten some type of manslaughter charge. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to too much deter away from what we were talking about with the Carmelo Anthony case, but go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Big Dave.
Let me say one more thing on that, and then we'll get back to that. But at the end of the day, when have you seen a trial, somebody get convicted and delivered in a trial in 24 hours? Less than 24 hours. That was the fastest case we ever seen somebody convicted on. Yeah,
they tried to hurry up and rush it up and I'm not going to say cover up, but they tried to sweep it up under the rug quick. But and that's what's going on with this Nolan Wells case. They did not think that we were going to stay on top of this case. They thought it was just going to be another black case that that we were going to look at and we were going to let be swept up under the rug, but most blacks, we stayed on top of this case. We continue to talk about, in this case, to me, it's very much still alive. We're just waiting on the grand jury to be handed this case, because it's too much evidence for these friends not to be charged, man. And what's going on now is what these, what the mainstream media is doing and what these friends, lawyers are doing. They're trying to make us think that we did not hear what we heard on that conversation, Big Dave. So give me your thoughts on that, man. We heard what they were saying. We heard them say Nolan, is he dead? Nolan, wake up. They were even trying to do chest compressions, and things like that. Yeah, so this is what's going on, man. They're trying to the Janetta Brown, the young lady, the voice analyst who broke that down, they're trying to discredit her. They're trying to do everything, to just discredit everyone who's speaking up against these friends that was on that boat.
They trying to cover up an audio that was given a legit audio. It's just the only thing she did was cleaned it up.
That's it.
So you can hear it. That's all she did. It's not an AI. It's nothing different. It's the same audio that has been put out that TMZ and everyone else has. The only difference, you barely can hear theirs. But once she went in and cleaned it up, because she's an audio engineer.
All right.
They discredit us for being smart and intelligent. See, this woman told you, I'm not trying to change nothing. I'm not trying to say no one's guilty or nothing. What I'm doing is cleaning up the audio so you can hear what's going on.
And that's it. And that's it, Dave. And that's all she did. Even Nancy Grace, editor, her editor, her sound person, when it cleaned up, did the same thing that this young woman done. We got Joe getting ready to enter the stage, done the same thing that Janetta Brown cleaned it up, and came with the same results. So Joe, I want to ask, Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
We got Joe on the stage whenever we get to. I'm gonna ask him that same question.
Can you hear me?
What do you think about them trying to discredit Janetta Brown and just trying to give me your opinion on this whole Nolan Wells case? But first and foremost, give me your thoughts on how the mainstream media and just the white media alone is trying to discredit and trying to have us think that we did not hear what we heard on those tapes, on those recordings, I should say.
So the Nolan Wells case, I do believe there's.
My bad, Joe. Start over because I didn't have your volume up.
The Nolan Wells case, I do believe there's a cover up there somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not going to go and say all white media. What's the problem is that there's too many people that spreading misinformation and it's causing a lot of confusion. So that's the reason.
Give me the misinformation that's been spreading, because thus far, all the information that I've saw that's been spread has been information that was given, like through the Cajun Navy with the audio recording and things like that, But so give me that the misinformation that you're talking about, Joe.
So the misinformation is that them 4 kids that they've been putting on the news and putting out there on social media, they actually had nothing to do with that. There's independent media, independent investigations that went and talked to those families and been proven that they had nothing to do with that.
Now, are you talking about the 4 friends that was on that boat during that phone call conversation?
Yeah. So the 4 friends that you're talking about is not the only friends that was down there. There was a group of them from high school, from neighborhoods, from everything. It was just more than them 4 friends. But
right. We're talking about the group. We're talking about the group that was on that boat that night.
But the thing
they know exactly what happened. That group, I don't care about anybody else. I'm talking about that group of people that was. We know for sure it was Bart. We know it was a white girl on the boat. We heard her, and it was 2 other gentlemen.
But the problem is that they keep highlighting that the 4 friends that originally all went together was on there, and it wasn't them. And that's the problem.
That's what's going on, man. We're getting away from what actually happened. This young man died. They're trying to get away from the actual what happened to this young man. He died, and they're trying to get away from it, Joe. My thing is, we know we heard what we heard on that tape. They're trying to discredit the Janetta Brown woman, Nancy Grace. We even go from that. She had her analyst do the same thing Janetta Brown did, and it came back with the same results. Give me your thoughts and your opinion on that. We heard what we heard on that tape, Joe.
I'm not disagreeing with the tape, but we putting the wrong blame on the wrong people, and that's the problem. And that's what the season letter.
Yeah, see, and I guess that's what we're trying to figure out, Joe. Who's putting the wrong blame?
I'm trying to explain it. So
then let them explain it, then you can come back in real talk.
You got the 4 people, the 4 little kids down there that's been destroyed, lives been destroyed, blaming them, death threats been sent their way. And the reason why is because people are is rushing to judgment. We know that there was some foul play there, but the problem is that they're putting the foul play on the wrong people. That's the reason why the letter and the cease and these 6 letters is going out, because there's too many people that's in death threats is going to these families, and they kids have nothing to do with the shit.
Okay,
It's more than just
what about the death threats that's going to Nolan Wells' family? You know what I mean? They have not even spoke about
well.
no arrests have been made
Let
towards the
me
death threats towards them, Joe. You know,
well.
so now they're trying to turn it around and make it towards now they're trying to turn the story around and make the friends seem like they're the victims.
So here's the problem.
Go ahead, Joe. Let Dave speak his piece, and then you can come back in, Joe.
I want you to explain to me who is the kids that was on the boat then, because them same kids you said that wasn't on the boat are the same ones that shut down their social media pages, the same ones that's having conversation, fake interviews where they're messing up. They shouldn't even did no interview.
Yeah, see, and I can't disagree with him on that, Joe. You know, I mean, and we can name some of the names. You heard some of the names that were named off on that boat, and pretty much the names that were named off on the boat, that's who people are talking about.
No, we talk about the guys who actually did the interview.
Yeah, that was his name will come to me in a second.
Whoever else, but they did the interviews. They said they was on.
Yeah, the interview that you talking about, the interview that was done with Race Batum Tatum.
Man, they don't raise Batum Tatum. He's a phony and he's Uncle Tom.
Well, first of all, let me explain something to you. I disagree with that. I'm a fan of Off the Tape. You know why I'm a fan of Off the Tape? Because he's been on both sides as a regular person and a police officer. And he went down there and did his diligence. I would never even knew none of this stuff or the families that wanted for him going down there. He's not phony. He went down there and did the right thing. He got the information, and people are criticizing.
Hold on. I got to disagree with you. Not cutting you off, but I got to disagree with you. Why? Who gives him the right to say what Nolan's mother should be doing? She don't have to talk to him. She don't want to talk to him.
I agree with you.
A phony.
You know why? You know another issue I have on Nolan. This is another reason why you get in the vision too. You got Nolan Wells' mother down there doing makeup TikTok makeup videos on TikTok, putting makeup on, and her son got killed. Come on, man. That's going to cause a lot of issues by itself. That is not what a grieving. That's not what a grieving mother does. And her mother was.
But Joe, you can, and many people will attest to this. You can't tell a person how they should grieve.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
That might not be your
man. Come on, man. If your kid got shot, or your kid died, you're not gonna be on social media doing makeup challenges and dancing and singing songs on TikTok. This is fake. This is cry outrage, and this is ridiculous.
No, I got it.
All right, go ahead, Big Dave.
No, I got.
Don't nobody do that. That's not what grieving parents do.
No, you don't know that though.
That's not what grieving parents do. We all lost. I'm not saying we all lost our kids. That's not reasonable, man. Something wrong with that picture.
Listen, I'm speaking now. You can't tell a person how to grieve. You can't
Yeah,
tell.
you can. We know.
Nah, hold on, bro.
I'll let you go. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Dane met him. I got a brother a person right now that's like a brother, and Dane met him. His motherfucking son got his brains blew out. And he grieved totally different than everybody else. Some of the people that when he made son grieved totally different than him. So everybody has their own way of grieving. You can't tell a person. That's the problem. You one of them kind of people. If you put your hands on me and I blow your brains out, you didn't have to shoot him. He just hit you. See, you one of them persons that judges somebody with how they should be grieving. Maybe that's what you think she shouldn't be doing, but maybe in her mind, that's what makes her feel more better.
Right. You know, and I kind of agree with Big Dave on that. You cannot tell a person how to grieve, because I'm gonna be honest, I still have not really grieved yet from the passing of my father yet, and it's been over a year, So, but in that situation, man, you can't not really speak to nobody or tell no one how to grieve. She's trying to do it the best way she can. You got to remember, she still haven't got the answers to how her son died yet, Joe.
I agree. So I don't have a right to tell people how they should grieve, but you shouldn't be on social media, TikTok, trying to get stardom based on your kid, on your kid name. And I got a problem with that. So
Is
if
that
she
what you
is,
think she was trying to do with that?
yeah,
You think
that's
she
what
was
she's
trying?
doing.
You don't
That's
think
what
she already
that's
had
what they
reached that
all
stardom?
do.
You don't think she had already reached that stardom point before she got on TikTok? Meaning that she been all throughout social media before then, before she
No,
did that, Joe.
that's not stardom when you're trying to get answers for your kid death. What stardom is that you using your kid name to draw attention. She's on social media. She put makeup on. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. She's on social media and she's gaining attention by doing these TikToks, which is weird for a grieving
Mhm.
person. It's weird, man. I'm sorry. It's not
Well,
normal. That's not normal behavior. And TikTok has made it this patch from real. The Bible said there's a time to grieve, there's a time to laugh, there's a time for everything. And what she's doing right now is making people believe if this is a money grab, then really trying to get notability or trying to figure out what's
okay,
going on with our kid.
okay, Joe.
That's the
Let me ask
problem.
you a question.
And I ain't the only one
Let
said
me
that.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Joe.
I will not be on TikTok. My son fucking died.
No, listen. You just said it. You would not be. See, we don't give a damn what nobody else thinks that is a money grab. They can think whatever the hell they want. This lady lost her son in a brutally death that everyone is trying to have. How you think that she feel that she had to go find his phone? No one's investigating. The damn father had to go find the keys. Why can't none of the friends, the so-called friends that was with him, find nothing? Why was none of them reaching out? Listen to what's going on with this case. We still talking about a grand jury. Is enough evidence to get a warrant to go arrest people. But
No, hold on. Arrest who though? You said there's enough evidence
The
to arrest
friends,
who?
I'm agree with him on that one, Joe, and I want to hear your opinion. The friends that was on that boat, they should have at least been questioned or by now indicted. Don't, in my opinion, do you think the friends that was on that boat, from what we heard on that boat, they should by now have at least been indicted or questioned by the authorities?
Indicted on what? Y'all throwing the right
on this young man dying.
So what is the indictment is going to be? Because this has to be
somebody is responsible for this young man dying. Because
but where's the evidence to get an indictment on someone?
The evidence
you
is
have
that
to
a
have
young
proof.
man is dead. What more evidence do you need?
Joe, you must don't know.
Wow, Joe, I can't believe you saying that, Joe.
Joe, you must.
I don't understand what y'all talking about. You saying an indictment as if.
Now listen, I can see if we didn't hear what we heard on that motherfucking recording, we would be still kind of trying to figure out what happened to this young man, or kind of lost in the case, or still trying to figure out like if it was an accidental drowning or if his friends had something to do with it. But we kind of it's kind of clear that his friends know what the fuck happened, or if they didn't have something to do with it themselves, from that recording.
Okay, but what friends though? When you go in and ask for an indictment, how do you prove that video? Don't prove who did it, who voice was in that. It doesn't prove nothing. So how you get an indictment on who though?
We can take some of them names that were called off on that boat. We can take Bart for one, and Bart was one of the main fathers who actually put that cease and desist out amongst a lot of people.
Joe, do you have who if they the ones that didn't that they getting wrongly charged? I mean, they get talked about as they the one. Hold on, my phone is doing something that's messing with my voice.
Okay, well, why he trying to figure that out, Joe?
Hold on, Joe. So, do you have the proof that they're the wrong guys? Where's the proof at, Joe?
So I don't, unless I'm there, I have no way of proving it was there. But you don't have just like I don't have proof that it wasn't there and they didn't do anything. We also don't have proof that they did it either.
Hold on, let him answer it, Dave. Let him answer your question. Go ahead, Joe.
It go both ways. There's no proof that he did it, and there's no proof that they didn't do it. So you can't just throw around indictments. It doesn't work like that. Huh?
No. We know how indictments work, Joe. Because if it had been the other way around,
and that was the next question I was getting ready to get to, Joe. Go ahead, Dave. I'm gonna let you ask that question.
If me, you, and Dane was on that boat with a white boy
all three of us would have been indicted by now.
That's a fact. And listen, and I want you
I'm
to
not
answer
sure
that
about
question, Joe. If you think that the shoe was on the other foot and there was a boat full of niggas, and I'm gonna just keep it real, and there was one white boy on that boat and he did not come alive, do you think the state of Mississippi would have by now indicted every last nigga that was on that boat and been questioned them by now? Just keep it real.
I do believe the questioning will be there. I'm not solid soul on the indictment
Right,
part.
at least questioning.
No,
They all was questioning. Investigators all in questioning every.
We haven't. I'm gonna disagree with you on that, Joe. I think only one. I don't think none of the young men or anyone that was on that boat was questioned yet. I think only
Yes,
one
they
gave an
was.
interview.
Yeah, they did. They was questioned by the authorities. Yes, they were.
I don't think none of them were questioned yet by authorities because they all lawyered up, unless they were questioned with their lawyers, and no one has spoke about that. So why haven't we heard anything about them being questioned with their lawyers? Because they've all lawyered up, so they have not been interrogated yet, Joe.
Do you understand?
I'm looking it up right now. Authorities
please look it up, because I
already
could be
did.
wrong.
I'm telling you,
I need for you guys
the
to
police.
like, comment, subscribe, and share. Your boy is less than 14 of subs away from 1K. And I want to ask the people in the that's in the chat, give me your thoughts. Have these young men been? Do anybody know if these young men or women? Because we know it was a female on that boat too. Have any of these young men been questioned? Anyone on that boat been questioned yet for the death or for the drowning of Nolan Wales? Give me your thought, Joe, on the whole autopsy report.
It's unclear. The autopsy is clear.
When you send a body back with no throat and no lungs, but go ahead.
That is protocol. Does anybody understand that part? That is protocol. That's what an autopsy happens. That's how it happens. There was nothing illegal about that.
Oh, okay.
Man, you've had multiple people who was in that business come and say that what they did was pretty much fucked up. They said there would have at least been some type of notes put on there. There was no explanation like why the throat was missing, why the lungs wasn't sent over. And then they took their time. By the time that the second autopsy got that body, it was decomposed. So they knew for a fact that they would not be able to get a correct determination on how that young man died, Joe. Go ahead.
Don't act like you don't know what the state of Mississippi is about.
We all know what the state of Mississippi is, but that's not enough. Just because they have a bad history, which I agree with, is not enough to just go around prosecuting things. You got to have proof.
See, you sound like race baiting Tater, because he offered his duties. He offered his duties, and nobody asked him to offer his damn duties. And then he got the nerve to be talking.
He's not the only one that done that.
I'm saying listen, the white folks was willing to talk to him because they knew he was gonna do what they wanted him to do. They ain't going to talk to nobody else. Let them talk to somebody else. They ain't talking to nobody, Joe. They ain't talking to nobody.
Well, number one, they talked to several other people besides Tatum.
Man, when they did the interview.
Go ahead. I want to hear Joe's. I want to hear Joe's opinion. Go ahead, Joe.
They did talk to more than Tatum, but the reason why they chose Tatum because Tatum didn't go down there hostile, and he didn't go down there already putting judgment on you. Why the hell you think I would talk to somebody if you already think I'm guilty? I ain't talking to you either. He came down there neutral and trying to find out what happened.
You really think he was neutral though, Joe? I think
yes.
I think he was far from neutral. I think he was being biased. He was more on the side of them friends, because he was saying shit that really wasn't, that he had no fucking evidence to prove what he was saying was true.
What he did was he gave them a platform to talk, and he did that.
Did you hear him on the interview attacking Nolan's mother?
Yeah, I attacked it too.
Is grieving? No, why?
She ain't grieving. I'm attacking her ass too.
How you know she ain't grieving?
Because that's not what a woman, that's not what a mother and a parent do. That's not grieving.
No, hold on, Joe. That once again, you're judging her, but you're saying you're not. Once again, you're judging this woman, saying she's not a grieving mother, because she made a video
and we're gonna ask the people in the comment section. Do you think that this woman is on TikTok doing makeup commercials? Because we talked about this. People grieve on their own ways. Do you think this woman is not grieving because she's on TikTok and she's talking about other things besides this case? She may be grieving in her own type of way, Joe. But go ahead. I definitely want to hear your opinion too, Joe.
It's a lot of people attacking her. But the problem is that she is doing crazy things on social media, and it looks like it's for a money grab attention. And then instead of you trying to get answers about what your kid, you feed into the race bait down there in Mississippi, the same town that she lives in. She bashed, and then turn around and ask her for help from the same town. You can't do that. I can't ask all them kids are from the same area. I can't bash that whole town and then turn around and ask them to help me solve my kid murder. You can't do both. She mishandled it. How she handled it is mishandled. And you would catch more honey bees with honey than with salt. And what she was doing down there, it just caused a lot of chaos in that small ass town. I blame her for what the holdup is. Right now, I'm blaming her. I do believe there's some foul play, and I do think there is a cover up what happened to that boy. I'm not arguing none of that part, but no, the mother is not making this shit no better, and that stupid ass Ben Crump that's down there is making it just as bad too.
See, now I'm not a friend of Ben Crump. I think
oh my God.
I'm not a friend of Ben Crump, but what I do think what he brings, I think he brings a lot of publicity to this case. I think he's keeping it from not being swept under the rug. He's actually doing his job in this case. I'm not going to say I'm a Ben Crump friend, but a fan, but what he is doing is he's keeping this case going, he's keeping it alive, and he's trying to get the answers of what happened to this young man. And I think, Joe, that's what most people want to know what happened to this young man and those friends that was on that boat, Joe. And you gotta admit to this, them friends that was on that boat, and from what we heard, we know they know what happened to this young man. And that alone, a indictment should have been fine. But go ahead, Big Dave.
You know what's crazy that's driving me crazy listening to Joe? You know what's driving me crazy? Everybody wants to throw Ben Crump under the table. Damn Ben Crump. You know what kind of lawyer he is. He's not a criminal lawyer. Everybody knows what kind of lawyer he is. That's what he's called for. But guess what? Everything that he does, he might be going after the money, but everything he does puts everything on the floor. It puts everything out here, because if he hadn't came down here, we wouldn't be talking about nothing. Because when his body came across the shore, nobody was talking about nothing.
Yeah, they were already trying to say it was a accidental drowning. You had the I believe the governor of Mississippi saying that with no fucking knowledge of a medical examination or anything. So at the end of the day, man, that's what's going on. They're banding together. The state of Mississippi has band together with with these so-called friends and family, in my opinion.
And then I got the nerves.
They said that the mother is going about it wrong, and instead of finding out what happened, how the hell is she gonna find out what happened with everything they're doing to hide it?
I agree. Go ahead, Joe.
How she gonna get questions, and how she gonna go about it the right way when they hide everything from her?
I agree.
Go get his phone. She had to get somebody to go get the phone. The father found the boy's car keys. The police ain't doing nothing.
That's not true. First and foremost, they was on the boat, and he left all his things at the place they were staying at, which is normal. Well, if I'm on a boat, why would I be taking my keys? Why would I be taking my things with me?
Well, we know he had his phone with him on the boat.
Of course,
his keys were left at that house, I believe.
Yeah, you don't need to take your keys on the boat with you. That's dumb.
Right.
Well, and then you made a false claim about the Coast Guard getting involved. Coast Guard did get involved. That's not true.
Okay, we got LaShonda Lloyd want to come in and join the conversation with us. Okay, I'm getting ready to send you a link, DJ Shiny D. You know, go ahead, Joe. I hear you.
And then what y'all keep doing is, and you talking about race bait and Tatum. I'm sorry.
Man, he rub a lot. He rub a lot of us wrong, Joe. You know,
he don't rub nobody wrong. He
reasons,
speaks the truth.
You know, and we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
And then I got the nerves of trying to bring Carmelo Anthony like this is a similar case.
No,
I've already said that I agree with you guys about it's been a cover up, but you're not going to act like this case is a Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony deserved to be in jail. He deserved to be in jail for 35 years or however long he in there. He deserved every bit of it. He killed somebody.
Hold on. Who told you that we was treated like it was a Carmelo Anthony?
Well, for you,
how they do niggas.
Yeah, no, we were just comparing up like how
there is no comparison. One person was killed.
How they buying up for you know, for the fact when they're against blacks, you know, they'll stay on code with each other. That's what we were talking about.
That got nothing to do with Carmelo Anthony. That had nothing to do with Carmelo Anthony. Man, I'm sorry. And black folks did come out and support Carmelo Anthony. He got $1 million GoFundMe. He had support. I put money.
And I think with this case, with this Nolan Wells case,
put money on his fund.
Carmelo, and we need to start continuing to get back on this Carmelo Anthony.
Why? Why do we need to continue? Why do we need to continue to get on Carmelo for?
Deserves less than 35 years.
No, you don't. You deserve life in prison. You deserve life in prison when you kill somebody. He doesn't deserve nothing more.
Fact, we don't have plenty of white motherfuckers shoot niggas in the back of their head that was running away and they walked away free. You know, we want to see some type of justice for our people. Fuck that shit, Joe. You know, this young man deserves another case, 35 years for trying to protect himself. He feels for his motherfucking life.
If it's your damn kid that got pushed and if your kid roughhouse somebody by pushing them, and then you get the news that your kid is getting life in jail for a goddamn push, your ass wouldn't like it either. Stop acting like this would not be the response of you if it was your kid in the grave. Y'all being hypocrites. All y'all being hypocrites because you know damn well if it was your kid, you wouldn't be feeling that way. You've been a hypocrite.
You know what you sound, Joe. You know what you sound like right now. You sound
a parent. No, I don't. I sound like a parent. Nobody will want to hear that their kid got killed over a push.
Yeah, but hey, Joe, listen. At the end of the day, you know, so why do we hear white motherfuckers from talking about that they fear? Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I apologize. Why do we hear when we hear the police say that they fear for their lives when you clearly see it was a young black man running away? You know, clearly running away. We talked about that case a year ago where you had the young man that jumped out of the car, you know, that was shot in the back, that was clearly running away from the police officer.
What you talking about? You talking about in Cincinnati? Hold on, you talking about
Cincinnati?
Hey, guess what? Guess what I feel about that?
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that he deserved to die because I think that's wrong. But what I am saying to you is that was a right police ruling. It was justified shooting.
See, and you got a lot of people that would disagree with you, but DJ Shiny D has just joined the conversation. You know, go ahead and formally introduce yourself to the show.
Well, first of all, I didn't know Joseph was gonna be on here because I know it's gonna be an argument.
Listen,
you know, Joe bring controversy to the to the conversation. You know, that's why we love Joe over here on the What Up Doe show.
Listen. I really enjoy each one of y'all all the time. I can't. I really do. Because
DJ Shiny D, so are you updated on what we're talking about? We were just talking about this Nolan Wells situation. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinion, man. We think that, and Joe said, and maybe you know a little bit about this than we know. Joe said that the friends were already interrogated and questioned. We're saying that they was not. They've lawyered up and they've been quiet. I have not heard anything from the friends yet.
I have not, other than the little excerpts they put out on their social media and stuff like that. I haven't heard any of it, but you know, all I can say is right now is when I look into Nolan Wells' mother's eyes as she tries to hold it together, you know, it makes me really sad that These
See,
people
and
got
Joe,
also
listen, and Joe
wait.
will.
These people,
I'm gonna let you finish, but Joe gonna want to
yeah,
disagree with you. Joe said she's not grieving.
No, let her
yeah.
finish.
Go ahead, DJ Shiny D. My bad. Finish.
All right, when I look in her eyes and I see the pain in her eyes and her trying to hold it together, it just saddens me so, because everybody is doing everything. If you, and I heard Joseph say, if it was your child, well, guess what? Nolan Wells is her child. And she deserves answers for what happened to him. And the fact that these adults, these parents, are going out of their way to save their own children despite what happened to this woman's child, I think it's just disheartening. It really is. So, Joseph, what you got to say? I want to hear what you had to say.
And this is what I was saying before you say that, Joe. This is what he was saying, DJ Shiny D. He was saying that she's not grieving. He said this woman is out there trying to do money grabs. She's on TikTok talking about perfume and what was that, makeup and shit like that. But like we was telling Joe, I'm like, people grieve in their own different ways. You can't say this woman is not grieving because she's on TikTok. But go ahead, DJ Shiny D.
I do. I don't agree with Joseph, as always. I don't agree with Joseph and what he's saying. You don't get to pick how people mourn. You don't get to pick how long people mourn. You don't know what somebody has to do to just make it through the day. So I think it's very presumptuous of you to determine that for her, and you don't know her, you've never met her. You're going off of what you see, which is a problem, Joseph.
No, go ahead, Joe.
Here's the issue. You're right. I don't have a right to tell people how they should grieve. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a healthy grieve when I see it. And that's not a healthy grieve. When you're on social media and you putting makeup, singing songs, rocking to music, it's all on social media and TikTok. When I see that shit, that don't sound like you grieving. That don't look like you're grieving. That look like you are just going through emotion and you are trying to capitalize while you got the spotlight on you. I have a problem. And let me tell you something about her history anyway. There's a whole bunch of allegations anyway that she didn't even have custody of Nolan Wells. That her grandparents had custody of Nolan Wells, and she was saying that he also was primarily living with his grandparents. And that's all on social media too. And you might want to look it up. So there's not a connection there with her anyway.
Wait a minute. So you're diminishing her mourning. You're diminishing her mourning.
I've been doing
and her motherhood at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow, Joseph. Wow. Okay. Well, I think you're very wrong, and I think that as a parent, you shouldn't say things like that. That's how I feel.
Because I'm speaking.
And you talking about somebody's child that got killed over a push. You got killed over a push, which is why you shouldn't put your hands on people.
which is why it's illegal. Which is also the reason why that if you continue to, and I said it last time, if you preach that, there's going to be a lot more examples made on kids. If you think that that's normal, if you think that's okay to do, to continue doing it. Continue to think that you can, if somebody give you a push and you get to kill them over a push, you'll be in jail for doing 18, 20 years too. It don't matter where you at. No state.
What do you say? What do you say to the cops that continue to shoot blacks in the back? That's getting
you know what you keep doing?
Justified shootings.
You know what you keep doing? What y'all keep doing is y'all trying to correct the past by putting it on one person. Y'all want to put all the police brutality, white on black issues, and you want Carmelo Anthony. You want Carmelo Anthony to get the benefit for all the things that happened in the past, and that's the problem.
We're just saying that black men have been killed. We're just saying that black men have been killed for less.
And I agree. And I also agree. I agree. You're not going to get an argument to tell you the history of the U.S. or America. I will always stand on that. The fact is that black people has always got a bad shake. Not always, but for more than not, when it comes down to the justice system. We agree. But I also agree
Okay, so
is
my
that
question to you, Joe, is what do you
hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
No, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna let you finish, Joe. But if you agree to
I'm
that,
not-
what the fuck you think is going on in Mississippi?
So let me finish. Just like I said, that black people has got a bad shake with the justice system, which I can't agree with, because at a couple times in my life, I got an unfair shake dealing with the court system. So I can tell you that I agree with that. But here's the problem, though. Here's where I have to think twice on. We got a bad shake with each other more than what white people do. So y'all want to put a lot of the weight on white people doing things to black people, but that is let me finish, man. That is at a 5%. That is maybe at a 20 to 30% rate. But what's going on to each other is happening at a much greater rate.
Man.
And y'all so focused on what white people do to you instead of you watching what your own people do to you. That's a problem I have.
Well,
It's
you
hypocrisy.
sound like, but you sound like you blaming.
Carmelo.
I'm sorry.
The horn for that shit he talking.
No, go ahead. I want you to come on in and speak your piece, Big Dave.
Hold on.
No, because he did. Listen on that. Listen, listen. I blew the horn because listen, we do.
No, I get it.
Right.
Get it, but I don't appreciate it because that shit he talking. That's the problem right there. We already know we got a problem within our own community.
Which we have to talk and speak about it. You know, so when he say stuff that's facts, I'm gonna talk and speak on it.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Because I ain't said nothing. That's the first thing that blacks do is they go straight to us and get off the main fact of what we talking about. What we talking about is Joe criticizing this woman for how she grieved. She has got no questions from no one down in Mississippi. They've been hiding everything. These white boys been closing their social media pages. They call
which is normal. It's normal.
So
that's normal too.
No, you cannot tell somebody how they should mourn, how they should grieve, and then the first thing you do is change the subject with our community. We know.
You guys did that. No, hold up. That's you. No, that's not true. You guys did that. That's what I chimed in at. Y'all the one that went into Carmelo Anthony. I didn't do that. You did that. That wasn't me.
Elaborate on what you meant by that, though, Joe. With the Carmelo
I came in on y'all doing that. I didn't do that. Y'all did that.
We didn't say nothing about the black community.
No, right. You brought up Carmelo Anthony. Y'all brought up Carmelo Anthony. I didn't.
No, we brought up Carmelo Anthony. We was making a point where how when it comes to a black person, how whites stick together with making things work against us.
Right.
Y'all are missing. You missing.
Like we dumb or something.
No, what y'all did is,
bro.
You also miss.
Yeah. Me, and I don't mean to call you Uncle Tom because I don't think you want you sound.
Hold on. I don't take no offense when people say that to me. You know why I don't take no offense to that? Because there's nothing to Uncle Tom about me. Everything in my household. Well, hold on. Let me explain something to y'all guys. And this is why I don't take no offense to that. Because everything in my house is all black. I got a black wife, black kids, and I raise up good black kids, lead by example. There's nothing about me that's a sellout. I married my own, and everybody in my house look like me. And I take care of my family, and we do the right thing in this house. There's nothing to sell out about me. So, but I will say this though. I'm gonna say this.
Don't mean you happy to be black.
No. I love being black, but I will say this. I support black people, but I don't support niggas. So when you do that nigga,
about niggas. We not talking
about
niggas.
Because
what I'm saying.
What am I criticizing right now is nigga, because black people, all the shit that y'all complain about is not what black people do.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that, Joe? You know, because I don't think we're complaining. We're just talking about the simple facts of this case. You know, it was a young man who died on a boat. You know, and we don't know exactly if he was on a boat where he died. It was a young man who died, you know, and we hear a conversation amongst friends that's conspiring to cover this shit up, Joe. That's what we're talking about. You know,
the issue,
this young woman,
the mother is getting resistance in her small ass town, it's because of the way that she carried it. 3 things that she made a mistake at.
So
First
let
and
me
foremost, if you asking, if you
think she's
asking
getting
the
resistance because most of the town is
no, I'm telling you,
60% white and
no,
she's
that ain't got
living in
nothing to do with none of that.
town and she's black. Do you think that's some of the
No,
resistance, Joe? Go ahead.
she's getting a resistance because she bashed her damn town. She brought civil rights activists that do nothing but race bait and dumbass Ben Crump dumbass that can't read a goddamn piece of paper. Y'all see that dumbass shit that he did? So you got Ben Crump, you got Ben Crump, you got Al Sharpton, all down there bashing the town that she in, the same town that you want answers with. The same town that you want to help you get the answers. You bash your own town. You brought the circus. Hold on, let me finish. You brought the circus in that damn town. The same time that you criticize, the same time that you brought a circus to you, and then you want to turn around and act the same time to help solve your son murder. You can't do both like that.
Yeah, I
All right, go ahead, Big
Yes,
Dave.
I can.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can.
You can't. I'm not saying you.
Yeah,
She can't do that.
I deserve answers.
If you hollering now, I can holler too. So you mean to tell me?
He said, "If I can holler, you can holler too."
So you mean to tell me if you stayed in Mississippi and that happened to your child and you wasn't getting no answers, you wasn't getting no help, everything is getting hid. This woman been getting humiliated. They got to go investigate themselves. So they had to call some help in. So y'all want to call Ben Crump a dummy, but you know what type of lawyer he is. He's not a criminal lawyer, but what he has done is brought this to the frontier, and now everybody knows the jig is up.
Yeah.
See, because before he came, that lady wasn't getting nothing.
So, Joe, let me ask you, where the lungs and the heart at? Where the lungs and the throat?
So, and part of that investigation and part of the autopsy, that is normal protocol. That's been debunked by all medical analysts and doctors from all across the country. What happened was normal protocol for them to take the throat out. That's normal. Nothing that they seen or heard, and that's from everyone, from black autopsy doctors and all that. It's all normal. That's normal.
For a drowning victim.
Yes.
For a drowning
victim.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Joe, because we've heard multiple analysts that was on the Willie D show, and you can go and look it up. I'll send it to you. That when situations are done like that, normally the autopsy examiner, they would correspond and talk with the second autopsy who's getting ready to do the report, will put some type of messages, or either actually call them, you know what I mean, and inform them that, look, we're not sending the throat because of such and such and such and such. They didn't do any of that. They waited for days to send the body. Therefore, the body was decomposed. And then, therefore, we didn't even get any, we don't know what happened to the lungs either. We don't know if water was in the lungs or anything. They withheld the lungs and the throat, without, notifying us of why.
You do know.
His body, Dang, when they transported it.
Yeah, even that, they even transported them from what we're hearing allegedly upside down, that may have even, done something that fucked up the autopsy, when the second autopsy examiner got the body. So when the second autopsy examiner got the body, it was decomposed. Therefore, it was going to be already they weren't not able to do it was basically going to come back insurmountable research, because basically the body was decomposed. There was no throat, there's no lungs to verify if this young man drowned or anything, so we still don't even know the answers if this young man drowned or not, LaShonda.
Yeah, and that's my problem. My thing is, it's too many coincidences. It's too many things that are unanswered that people are trying to cover up. And I don't know anybody that is innocent that goes through that much trouble to cover up shit. Sorry.
Well, I don't understand.
Listen, and this is why we said the state of Mississippi. This is why we said in the beginning, you got this whole these white folks are binding up, they're sticking together, they're on code, with this Nolan Wells case. They're not speaking. Most of the kids that was on that boat have lawyered up. Therefore, we're not getting any investigations, Joe. So I would love to hear if you can send it to me after the show or during the show, were any of these young men or women that was on that boat that was investigated. But my question to you, LaShawn, are you aware that they're trying to discredit, everyone who broke down that voice analyst situation? So now they're trying to make us sound like we don't hear what we heard on that boat.
As far as I have known of whites, okay, I was aware of them. I have always known them to get offended or push back when people advocate for themselves, when people speak up for themselves. Yeah, they're going to try to discredit her because she got the truth. She got some of the truth to come out. What was that about, Joseph? What was the video? What was the audio about?
So listen.
Yeah, see, and that's what's fucking me up. I'm like, people are forgetting, like, we don't give a fuck if he died on the island or the boat. We're hearing that these young men that was men and women, because there was a woman on that boat, we're hearing that they're actually trying to cover up exactly what happened. We don't know if they actually had dealings, actually had something to do with him dying, but they know, we at least know, because you can hear them saying, we've already done chest compressions, so pretty much at the end of the day, man, if these were black young men and women that was trying to cover this shit up and we heard the same thing in the phone calls, they would have already been indicted. They would have already been in question and maybe even locked up. So that's the only thing that me and Dave were talking about when you came in, Dave. It's like how, whites band together and they stick together, when it's dealing with something that has to do with blacks.
Here's the thing.
It's how when they come together.
Can't hear you.
Go ahead, that's Dave speaking.
They know how to come together and shut shit down. That's what we was talking about. But at the end of the day, like LaShawn said today, and this ain't a triple team, but the facts is the facts. None of us
we don't have facts. We don't have facts. There is no facts.
Audio. We have audio.
No, it's some facts with that audio.
Hold on, let me.
The audio explains.
None of us. Listen, the facts is the facts. None of us know who did what, but this is what we do know, like LaShawn said. It's too much covering up, and who the hell would go through all this stuff? Getting rid of their social media. Trying to make us think we didn't hear what we heard. They called the coast, they called for the rescue team to come, but not 911. The fucking judge told her son and them, let's get some lawyers. Don't say nothing to nobody. What is all this about?
All right, hold on. What judge? Oh, first of all, what judge? What judge are you talking about? Because you do know, you do know that the parents of both sides are lawyers and judges. You do know that, right?
Yeah, but we ain't gonna lawyer up if I'm innocent. That's not gonna be my
yes,
first
you
train of thought.
First of all,
not if that's my first train of thought. First of all,
yes,
if I gave a fuck about Nolan Wells,
what? We just trying to get away with it.
You're crazy. Because if I was in their shoes, I would have done the exact same thing. Get a lawyer. Let me not say that. Because a lot of times we don't understand it. If you know there's a pending criminal case that could potentially harm you, and you got money, that's the first thing you better do is get an attorney. Why? Because everything you do and say will be used against you in the court of law. So you better get an attorney. The ones who don't get an attorney are the ones who find themselves locked up and said something that got them in jail. I get why most people can't get an attorney because most people can't afford it, like myself. But I can promise you, if I had money, the first thing I'm going to do is get an attorney. Why? So you won't incriminate your damn self.
Well, let me say this. If I was innocent, the first thing I would have done if I was the one is give his mother his phone. That's what I would have done.
Oh my God!
I would have gave his mother.
She did get his phone. She did not have a problem getting the phone.
She went to find the phone.
She didn't have to find it.
She did have to find the phone. What are you talking about?
The friend mother grab his phone on her request. It
Because
wasn't hard to get the
No,
phone.
not
she
the friend
GPS
mother.
his phone.
It was
She
her
located
friend.
his phone. She located his phone.
Yeah, she
So-
located the phone. They went to the house. The mother's friend went to the house and got the phone.
Go get the phone.
What
So
up,
stop
though,
it with
Skeeter Man
this.
218? Look, I need for everybody to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Your boy is less than 14 subs away from 1K. You know, we are knocking on the door. I want to thank everybody who has contributed, who has hit that like, who has hit that share, who has hit that subscribe button. Your boy is there. So tonight we're gonna try to hit that goal. We're gonna try to hit 1K tonight, and I can do it by you guys hitting that subscribe button. But go ahead, DJ Shiny D.
I just think, Joseph, that you are really judgmental. And I really feel
I
like
think
if you
y'all are actually.
wait, if you were in that situation, it would be different for you. You would feel different. I pray that you're never in that situation. So I it doesn't bother me that you don't agree with what we're saying. It's okay. But if it was your child, anybody that could come in and help you to explain what happened to your child, you are going to call them in. If that's Ben Crump, if that's Al Sharpton, then so be it. This is why they are famous.
Let me explain to you why so you speaking for me, but let me speak for myself. First and foremost, 3 things I would never do. I live in my town. It ain't Detroit, even though it's a city. The first thing I'm gonna do when my name, especially if I grew up in this town, everybody know who I am. The first thing I will never do is bash my town. This is the same town that I'm gonna need to help me with this. I'm going to ask for my town to rally around me, and I'm gonna tell you the facts. Since y'all don't really look into the facts, you just want to race bait. The town,
now
the
you speaking
town,
for us. Now you
the
speaking for
town.
us.
Well, this is what I take it from. The town gather around her and try to be supportive. What ended up happening is she went and grabbed these race baiting attorneys and Al Sharpton, and they brought so much heat and confusion to that town. And the town decided this is about to be a circus. Let me prepare myself for the circus. So they shut down their social media. They shut down phone call, change numbers, whatever they had to do, because they know when you bring Ben Crump and you bring Al Sharpton, what it's about to turn out to be. They did exactly what I would have done. Oh hell no! They call all these people that's they about to tear our town up. Let me go ahead and cover my ass. I would have done the exact same thing because they bring it up a heat.
But if you innocent, you ain't gotta cover your ass.
You ain't got to cover your ass. But you know, when you bring Ben Crump, they bring race baiting. And what happens when you bring race baiting? You get the Black Lives Matter. You got all these dumbass groups that want to come out there and start protesting.
Yeah, but when you bring Ben Crump in, man, you get a lot of national news, and this is what DJ Shiny D was saying. You know, this is what this case needed, because before they brought him in, and Dave said it too. You know, they were getting no response, they were getting no action, no questions.
All right,
you know, until they brought Ben Crump and
so let me ask you a question.
I want to read out a few of the comments. Skeeter Man 218 said Joseph is the only one on the panel that thinks logic. How could you say that, Skeeter Man 218? You got DJ Shiny D that's in Real Talk with Big Dave that's been dropping facts, you know, all day long. You know what I mean? Joe have said some knowledgeable things up here too, but all day long, Real Talk with Big Dave and DJ Shiny D been dropping facts, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I think, you know, what everybody want on this panel is, we want to know what actually happened to this young man, and what we're arguing with Joe against is the state of Mississippi. These friends, they're trying to deny us the knowledge of what happened to this young man, like he drowned, or like he just up and drowned and nothing happened to this young man.
He just
cocaine. Died out there on the water.
He was on a lot of stuff. Cocaine. They tried to put it all in there. Like, they said it all. But Joseph, let me ask you a question. Do you feel that there is any cover up?
I just said it. I don't believe that. I do believe that there's some foul play there, But see, when you cannot get the answers like that when you bring in that type of circus. You got to give it. Listen, but you got to give the town. You know, it's a small town. You know they're not Detroit or Wayne County or bigger cities like Dallas, where
But Joe, we know that's we know
Let me
from
finish.
fact
Dang,
over the years
dang,
that it's a racist town.
I don't want it, but that's the
know what
problem.
happened
Y'all
to,
got dude. You got to give these people
but go ahead, I'm gonna let you
enough.
speak, and then I'm gonna tell you why.
I understand what you're
Go
gonna
ahead.
say. We already went. But you got to give the town enough rope to hang themselves. If they are trying to hang themselves, you got to let them investigate it and go through it, and then you can debunk all that stuff. But what she did immediately was made the town turn against her. So now any resistance she got it because of the circus that came with it. You can't do that in those small towns. Maybe in Detroit you could. We got 1 million people in Detroit. You can't do that in a town of 10,000 people. Don't people all know each other?
The people that has turned against her were already
Let me finish.
probably the whites that's in that town that probably was already turned against her. You know, before this trial have even started or before it hit mainstream media. You know, so those who turned against her probably are those who's on the side of those so-called friends. Joe, have you thought about that?
No, these are not just friends. They all are wealthy. The Wells family are wealthy. I'm not saying wealthy like them, but
I don't think they are as wealthy as the friends are. You know, because they
no,
wouldn't have needed the help.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The father,
the GoFundMe raising, you know, money for his defense trial, I should say.
The father is a former judge. The mother, I think the mother is something good or wealthy. These people are not
Wells family. The mother.
I'm talking about the Wells family from the father on down. They all have some type of form of money. These are not broke people.
We're not saying broke, but we're not saying they got the same money that these so-called friends have. These friends they're sitting in high places, judges and lawyers and things like that. I think the mother of Nolan Wells, she just was a clinical nurse, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and the father, I don't know what he does. I don't know. I don't think he's a judge.
I think he's a former judge.
All right, go ahead, Big Dave. I'm gonna let Dave give his piece.
Man, we're gonna go back and forth with Joe all day, and we don't want to convince him. It's okay that he disagrees, but we ain't trying to convince him to change who he is. We know who he is. He's showing us. Because whenever someone's child leaves home the day before, he didn't leave home that day. He left home the day before. That was the last time they seen him. And he's supposed to go with 4 white friends on a boat over island. And he come up missing. And no one had called. No one offered to give no information. And I'm going to say it over and over again.
That's not true either, but go ahead.
Talking about she called Al Sharpton, these clowns and all that. What was she supposed to do when she didn't have no one reaching out in that town to help her? No one.
That's not true. That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie, though.
Can I correct you, Joseph?
Let him finish. Let him finish, and then you can come in, DJ Shiny D, and then Joe come back with your rebut.
Hold on, Joe. I ain't say nothing. The authorities didn't call her. Nobody investigated nothing.
That's a lie. That's a lie too. All that what you just said is a lie. I got proof to prove all that.
Hold on, she had to do everything on her own. They got his phone, they got his keys to his car. No one did nothing for these people. They had no other alternative but to call backup to help them. And ever since they called backup, we finding out all kinds of cover-ups.
All right, good. So let me debunk everything let me debunk everything that you lied. You just got. You told everything you said is a goddamn lie. So let me. I took notes on this.
Don't call me a liar because it ain't a lie.
Oh well, hold on. The lie I mean is not your character. Just what you're saying. So let me explain this.
What I'm saying is facts. What I'm saying.
You're not. I can give you sources of the facts.
What you saying is facts.
Okay, so let me explain. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you what was said, and I'm gonna tell you where to find the damn sources so y'all can shut this shit up because you're lying. So
Go ahead. I want to hear it, Joe. Let us know. Let us know.
First and foremost, let me explain. There's solid evidence the authorities, volunteers, have searched the Jacksonville County Sheriff's Department, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the United States Coast Guard, the National Park Services, the United Conjured Navy, all volunteer on record put $100,000. Let me finish. They also donated $100,000 to the Norris families for the search. That is a lie, and that's on Mississippi Today. All that's on there right now. It is on AmericanAOL.com. You can find all that information. Mississippi Free Press, that's on there. They have services from all branches of the military. The FBI is down there investigating right now. All that is credible on
there when this first happened.
That it happened during the search. They always
a day or two
later. Let me finish. All those people I just named was out there actively searching for him for hours, including the Coast Guard. I just gave you the source. Go look it up.
All right, well, Joseph, let me tell you where you loud and wrong.
I told you that, and I gave you the source. So where am I at?
You loud and wrong. And what I'm saying is, his mother.
I just gave you the source to verify.
Go ahead, DJ Shiny D.
His mother is a nurse practitioner. His father's career has never been publicized.
So
that's what I thought.
That's what.
Okay. That's cool.
And that's what I just said.
Oh, that's cool.
So before we get to calling people liars, let's look at ourselves. Okay.
Well, hold on.
You was loud and wrong.
Well, I might have been wrong about this father, and maybe I got it wrong. But I know I got it wrong that if mother. Well, I just told you everything else, and I gave you the sources, so I'm not wrong about that part. I just gave you the sources. Go verify it.
Go ahead, Shiny D.
What I'm saying is to you.
You said there was no help. He had help from all branches of federal, state, and local. So that's where you're wrong at.
I think what Dave is trying to say, Joe, is in the beginning. If all this help was there, do you think that they would have had to bring Ben Crump and Reverend Al Sharpton in if this help was there in the beginning?
So do you know why people like to bring that in? Bring Al Crump.
You real low, Dave.
Go ahead. He was just saying he wanted to hear what you were saying, DJ Shiny D. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just feel like Joseph, just how I just caught you in something that you were wrong, and you calmed it right down. Like, well, I might have been wrong about that. You wanted us to show you some empathy and some mercy on what you just said.
I don't need that from you. Show the family then. I don't need that. Because I'm also taking in all this information that y'all throwing out there, and I'm trying to dissect that and relay it out. So the error can easily happen. But what I just did was gave you what I told you, and I also gave you the source. What y'all did just told me based on what you read on Google, and that's fair. But I just gave you the source for everything I just told you. And
but sources are wrong. Sources are not always right.
These are,
these don't know these people. And
but these are credible sources, though.
There is a lot of misinformation out there, and it really just depends on what avenue you use to get your news. That's really it.
I'm just telling you
things, and I think that you are wrong. I think
I'm not wrong about the support that he got. I ain't wrong about that part.
You are wrong for saying that she should not got Ben Crump and she shouldn't have got Al Sharpton.
No. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that she's wrong for that. What I'm saying to you is that during an investigation in the early stages, you should have let the town, you should let the government, you should have let these people do their jobs first before you want to bring a goddamn circus in there.
So why you saying all that? Them waiting is why we don't have lungs and a throat. You know what I mean?
That's abnormal.
Al Sharpton and Ben Crump came there earlier. Maybe we would have those things and we could determine.
Yeah,
So
see, and
I'm
that's
just
what
saying,
I
some
think that's
people
what
don't want to
I
wait.
think that's what Big
I
Dave was
wouldn't want to
meaning
wait.
earlier, Joe. I think if
Mhm.
all the people that you said, like the feds and all this help was there in the
Yeah, they all
beginning,
help.
they would
Yeah.
have not needed Ben
They
Crump and Martin
was there.
Ashcroft to come
They
in
was
if
there in the
everything was
beginning.
transparent and they were actually there trying to help the Wells family.
They was there in the beginning. I just told you they was there in the beginning. I just gave you the facts to prove they was there in the beginning. They was. What it was, they didn't get the response they wanted quick enough, and that was the issue. They didn't get the response they wanted.
Well, because they didn't get the answers. That's
They
why.
wanted quick enough, and that was
That,
the
no,
issue.
no, no, no.
They didn't
I
get
want
the
answers.
response
I
they
I'm
want
wanted.
getting a lot of
answers
back.
on why
It
they
sound like one of you guys
That's
may have the have
that's
it
me.
playing
That's
in the
me.
background.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I wonder why is the video of the boat going back to the judge's house? Being people, then that evidently, and I'm not sure. I'm like I said, it's a lot of misinformation out there, but it is saying that they seen them cleaning the boat at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's normal procedures about the autopsy. Yeah, I keep saying it's not. It's very
No,
normal.
she was saying
I'm talking
cleaning
about
the boat. Cleaning the boat. Well, look, we
The
got a
boat
few
Oh,
people
you
running
said
back.
you said
I need
the
you guys
boats.
to make
Oh,
sure that you're
okay.
hitting that subscribe button.
I thought you said the
down
throats.
on 1K
No, the
subscribers.
boat.
We're less than 15 away from 1K. So everybody that's in here that's watching, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. But go ahead, DJ Shiny D.
The boat being cleaned. The boat heading back to where they were. That what like I said, I just don't understand why the cover up if there's nothing to cover up.
I don't know. I think there's some cover up. I agree, but I'm not sure either. You know, I just sound like it is, but that don't mean that it could be foul play. Because it could be, and it could be just accidental drama. I don't know. But what you cannot do is,
or it could be murder. Or
it could be murder. I agree, but if you want the support, and if you want to get answers, the bringing that circus in the beginning of a investigation does not help.
You sound like a good little house slave.
It didn't help.
That's what you sound like to me. Because just to me, I'm not calling you that like your character. I'm just saying that's how you sound to me. Because you're saying, well, wait on white folks to tell you what happened before you start getting involved. You know what I mean?
For your child.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Not you said that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's clown. What I'm saying. Let me ask you a question though. When they brought Ben Crump and when they brought Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, all to Carmelo Anthony's situation, did they actually help them?
I think they've gotten more answers than they had.
What answers did they get? Did they get them out? Did they get them out for getting 35 years?
But hold on, Joe. You asking her something that don't listen, man.
No. What I'm asking, that's all I'm saying to you is, that shit don't work.
They needed. But listen, hold on. They got all the information they needed. They can't help that they railroaded him in a white society like they always do. A trial that was did less than 24 hours. He didn't have a jury of his peers. That's why the case is getting redid, Joe.
So let me ask you a question. When you said jury of your peers, you said a jury of your peers. What is your peers?
Hold on.
I'm gonna answer that. I think when people say jury of your peers, most people
means in your community.
Yeah, you're talking about the people that live in your community.
He did have a jury of
most blacks
peers.
think when they say that, they think that of your peers is black folks. You know, not the white folks that's in your community.
Okay, your peers.
That's what most black folks.
Wait, Dave is low. I hear Dave trying to talk.
But at the end of the day, Joe, why on that audio it keeps saying that they said when they told the people that the boat was sinking, and then they said it wasn't.
Yeah, you know, because I mean, and Joe even said he's not doubting that it's cover up, man. Look, at the end of the day,
he's not doubting, but what he's doing, he's blaming this boy's mother, and LaShawn hit it right on the dot.
No, I'm not blaming his mother for his death. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying that she's not helping either.
Joe, if it's your child, you're gonna wait for the whole white community of Mississippi to investigate. You're gonna get out there and do everything in your power if it's your child. Whatever you gotta do to get your own resources to come help you, then make sure you don't get railroaded in this racist state where it has been known that they've been doing this forever.
And I'm gonna read off a few comments. At Disturbia radio show said Duck Dynasty ain't black folks' peers. And I kind of agree with him. When we hear, we're being judged by our peers, most black folks think we're being judged by black folks. But at the end of the day, what it means is you're being judged by the people in your community, whether it's black or white folks. So
and Joseph, I want to hit on something with you. It isn't that, okay, I didn't get the answers that I wanted at the time that I wanted. I didn't feel like they were doing anything. And when my son is dead and they aren't giving me the due process as I deserve, because if it was Walt or whatever his name was that died, they would be on it. Why do we have to wait for due process?
I mean, everybody had to wait to due process. It wasn't a black or white thing. Due process takes time. I'm sorry, I don't understand that.
Due process for Carmelo Anthony was less than a year, right?
Due process.
That definitely wasn't due.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't no due process.
He lucky it took a year, because if it was under my he should have been prosecuted in 3 weeks. It was very simple. It was an open.
I can't believe you said that.
It was an open and shut case. He pushed you, you killed him. Case closed. Life in prison.
And this is why we bring Joe on the show. Joe give a different side. He gives a different point. And I love to hear everybody's sides and opinion. Because everybody has a right to their own opinion. But go ahead, Big Dave.
Jesus Christ, it's easy. You push, you stab, 35 years in jail. So simple.
But 35 years, Joe, we saw white people get less time for shooting people in the back of their head from running away.
Hey, listen, Joe one of them blacks that you disown. He's going to go against the grain. Joe acting like,
oh my God,
doesn't understand what's going on.
Skeeter Man 218 love Joe.
Skeeter, yeah, he's been on here before.
He said Joe holding it down for the real ones.
Yeah, Skeeter is he had 3 seats in his school bus too.
He hear y'all. He in the comment, and it's a lot of comments that's been coming through, for Joe and against Joe, so I haven't been reading them all.
Well, it just goes to show you that people feel different.
I'll read a few of them all. Disturbia Radical said Ben Crump, Al Sharpton are also feds. They can't be trusted.
I agree with him on that.
I agree.
He said Disturbia Radical said Joseph sounds like Officer Tampon Lil Son. So he probably was talking about race baiting Tatum. But look, man, I think at the end of the day, I think all of us agree that it's been a cover up down there in Mississippi. We've seen from past situations that Mississippi will cover up situations. We've saw black men been murdered down there years ago and been covered up. This has been an ongoing situation, and we've been talking about cases like this throughout the year. Where black men has been coming up dead. Hanging out with their white friends. So this is an ongoing situation. This should be like this should be all over the news. Like a what's the word that I'm looking for? When they put out like red alerts, like it should be like something put out like where we're being attacked, because at the end of the day, man, look, we're being targeted, we're being attacked. And I'm just, in my opinion, I'm just going to say this, because we've talked about too many cases where you have black men that's been found hung from trees, hung from fences.
Just a lady found the other day.
And it's been going on throughout the year.
Hung from a tree.
We've been finding black men and women, hanging from trees all summer, and then you've been finding multiple black men and women that's been drowned, and every time you look and see who's been the culprits, it's always been their white friends that's been there, so this has been a situation that's been an ongoing situation throughout the country for the last several years.
I'm not mad. I get
white boy that drowned the black boy. And it took almost a year for them to even investigate.
Yeah, so you know, at the end of the day, man, that's what we're just trying to bring attention to that.
I do agree that Mississippi has a bad history. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Go ahead, Dave.
I said after that happened to the black kid that went with the 2 white kids swimming, and the 17-year-old and the 13-year-old, they stabbed him and held him underwater and drowned.
Facts.
It took a year for them to even do something. They still didn't lock the 17-year-old up.
Right. I did a story on that. You know, they tried to hide. They hid his phone, his clothes. They tried to cover that up.
So why should no mother wait around for these sources that you're talking about to exonerate? I mean, to get something did for her son. Why should she wait around? They showing us already it's them against us, and I'm not trying to make a race thing, but let's get to the facts.
That's all you've been doing is making a race thing.
We come up missing, but if they go with us, they get home safe. You know why
Yeah.
they get home safe? Because we're not like that. We're not like that. Even though we don't like what they do to us and we hate them sometimes, if they with us, we're gonna make sure they get home safe. When we with them, we don't get home safe. And guess what? It takes forever for them to do something about it.
Yeah, see,
let it happen to us one time, man. They'll have investigations up the ass, man. They'll be busting through doors. They'll take the dog to jail.
and at the end of the day, Dave, that's all we've been trying to, you know, pretty much state to Joe, and not even Joe, you know, because I think Joe is on the same accordance of, you know, that it's been a cover up, but you know, we're just trying to, you know, make a statement to, I'm not even gonna say white society, you know, we're just stating the facts. You know, if it was the shoe was on the other foot, you know, they would have brought hail down on these black folks that would have been on that boat.
But she's in a different position. Y'all don't understand. If you saying that this is based on y'all wording, and in a way I kind of believe a little bit too. If you believe that Mississippi is far behind in the time, which they are, because I've been in Mississippi last year on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove through Mississippi, and I can tell this is they still 20 years behind on time, 30 years. So I'm not arguing there. Here's the problem though. If you know this is in your state, you gotta handle it differently. You can't railroad your town and then expect everybody to be forthcoming based on y'all wording that they have been upcoming for support and help to start a case. So you can't do that type of shit in that town, especially if they so stuck together the way I think it is, and they expect them to help you. You can't have it both ways. It was the police department, Mississippi, whatever the town police department, took a lot of heat and death threats. And Ocean Springs is a very small town. They took a beat down from all across the world based on how they handled the case, and they were just still trying to get all the facts. So it left a sour taste. You can't do shit like that, and then want these people to do that for you.
But you just said what we've been saying. They, because of the heat that was coming down, because of the way they were handling the case, it didn't have anything to do with Nolan Wells' mother. How they were handling the case was subpar.
They was trying to gather information. Remember, you have different police agencies all in this, not just the Mississippi. You had the feds, you had the Coast Guard, you had all these people in it. They trying to gather all these, all come together. They all try to come together as one, and they're trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, but how they gonna come together as one when I'm not a part of their one?
How you? What make you think
I'm not a part of their one? They don't see me as equal to them. They don't see me as equal to them.
Joe, Dave want to ask you a question real quick, Joe. Go ahead, Dave.
So answer this question simply, and I want an honest question. The white boy that's wealthy and the family that's wealthy with judges, if that had been 4 niggas and him, and this same incident happened the same way it happened with Nolan, this audio tape is out and all that, do you think it would have been handled the same way with their investigation and due process?
I believe that once you get the facts out, that's when urgent all
You're
type
not
of things
answering
will
the
happen.
question, bro.
I
You're not
can't.
answering the question.
You know why I gotta?
Go ahead, let him answer it, Dave.
Here's the thing. What you want me to say is no, because if a black man did it, he's going down. They're going to lock him up before they ask questions. That's what you want me to say, and I disagree with that. I still believe that with facts, you have to see. I do believe that Mississippi has history of mistreating black people. So maybe in Mississippi things would be a little different. But I still believe that it needs to be led by facts, and I will give that town an opportunity. But listen, I can't argue with Mississippi history, and it's Mississippi fault for why people are attacking Mississippi the way it is, for the way they handle things. I'm not mad at how y'all feel about this. My whole argument is that knowing well parents and how they handle it is made it to a circus. So now you got people don't want nothing to do with this shit.
Joe.
I want to read off another
It's-
comment by Disturbia Radical. He said, "It don't take a genius to see pattern recognition, and the facts are that they deny black people justice, but are quick to lock blacks up when the shoe is on the other foot."
Thank you.
And Joe would not answer that question. You know why Joe wouldn't answer that question? Because it looked like we're right.
And then he said, and then he made another comment. He said, "Damn, Joe, you on Ashley Cole payroll too?"
That's because
look, y'all, it's been an hour and 50 minutes. We're going on 2 hours on the show. It's been a definitely a good conversation. I think most of us at the end of the day, just want justice for this young man. Even Joe, Joe just goes about a different route, trying to come along the same the same outcome that we want for this young man. But look,
but don't put Carmelo Anthony. Don't put Carmelo Anthony in this. He got what he deserved. Noah Wells didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, and I would disagree with you on that. I said 35 years, in my opinion.
Noah Wells did, but Carmelo did.
Because like I said, we've saw multiple cases of black men, being shot dead, women holding pots, being shot in their motherfucking head, when cops are being justified, these shootings are being justified, so at the end of the day, man, we just want to see a little bit of justice that we know is due, to our people, but look, we are closing down. I'm 8 minutes away from my birthday, man. I originally came on here.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, man.
Boy is closing down on another milestone. When I turn 50, I'm getting ready to be 51 in less than 8 minutes. So I said, if the Lord was to wake me up to see another day, which I'm woke, I'm up, so but yeah, birthday, I'm getting ready to approach 51, man. So I want to thank everybody who's wishing me happy birthday, and everybody who's been supporting the show. We are less than and last time I checked, we are less than 14 subs away from 1K. So I need everybody, and that's going to be a birthday wish. If don't nobody get me nothing, hit that subscribe button. I'm asking everybody to hit that subscribe button. That's all I want for my birthday, is I want to see 1K. But look, at the end of the day, man, I think what we all want is justice for this young man. We've been seeing a lot of unfair, unjust shit here in the United States, as black folks, and I think we all want the same thing, but look, Big Dave, give everybody your last thoughts, man. Let them know what you got going on and where they can reach you.
Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and I hope the mother and father I hope they get the justice that they need, and lock these white folks up finally in Mississippi. And y'all can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Real Talk with WIT Big Dave, on Facebook, Big Dave Crawford, Real Talk.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Joe, let everybody know where they can reach you, man, and what you got going on.
I want to say the same thing. I hope they find justice for Noah Wells. Carmelo Anthony deserves to be in prison, and I hope that he do every bit of his time. But I will say this. You can find me on social media on Joseph Knows, Jojo Dodo on social media, or my name Joseph Knows on Facebook. But I'm not trying to be against black people or anything like that. But we got to take some ownership of some things, the way we do things. And I do believe that Noah Well mother mishandled the situation. I don't like how she did it, and that's just my opinion, and I stick to that. So, but anytime y'all want, Dame, you reach out to me, man. If I see you on, I'm always say something, man. I like what you're doing. I support you, man.
We gonna
For sure.
debate.
Yeah, for sure.
We gonna debate.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
I appreciate all of y'all, though. I really do. I like what y'all say.
It's always a good time, man.
No
DJ
harm.
Shiny D, let everybody know what you got going on and where they can reach you.
I love you, Joseph.
Oh, no problem. I love y'all. Believe me, I'll take no offense to none of this. I like what y'all saying.
Me either. This is all grown people talk, but I do feel like what the things that you say kind of diminish the plight of Black people and what we've been through, and how many white people have covered up their killings of Blacks. I just think that we have to show some empathy, and I might not always agree, but if Black people want to join together and band together to do something for a better cause, I'm always down with it. And talking about how the mother is not mourning, that rubbed me the wrong way, but I'm not bothered, But yeah, it just sounds like you don't really care. But Nolan Wells, rest in peace. And I pray for healing and health for his family and loved ones. And you can reach me at Facebook at DJ Shani D. And that's it for me. Like,
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for coming on the show. And I want to thank everybody who made a comment in the comment section today. And I want to thank everybody who hit that subscribe button and continue to hit that subscribe button and continue to comment. I would love to hear your opinions on this topic, what we're talking about today, because I think at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, and and I love to hear everyone's opinion. No opinion, everyone's opinion is everyone's opinion is always a good opinion, and my to put it this way, everyone's opinion who made opinion today, is pretty much an opinion. It's just trying to, get down to the bottom of what happened to this young man. You got to excuse me, I'm kind of getting tripped up over my words, but again, I want to thank everybody who commented, who made comments today, and I want to thank all you guys who came on the show. And again, it's your boy's birthday. I'm getting ready to be 51 years old, another milestone that your boy is reaching in his life. And DJ Shiny D, how's that knee doing? How's your recovery been?
Hey, we healing every day. Every day we getting a little better. You going to work tomorrow? What you doing tomorrow?
It's still up in the air. I will be at work, because my daughter I'm getting ready to be a grandfather, probably on the 13th. So, that's going to be another tradition to the family, so that's another good thing coming. So I want to thank you guys again for coming on to the show, giving your input, and like I said, with at the end of the day, every comment that everybody made is always welcome, because at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. We're just up here speaking our opinion on this case, but at the end of the day, I think everybody agrees that we just want justice for this young man, and the mother deserves justice, and the mother and the father deserves justice, and they deserve to know what happened to this young man. So look, I want to thank everybody again. It's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and I am out. Peace.
Peace out.
Yes, sir.